Hey everyone, welcome to Tellor Dev Call, January 8th. So, um, yeah, another exciting week here. Crypto's just super exciting all around right now. Everything's buzzing. If you're not following it, it's great. Um, a lot of stuff. First off, this weekend I did kind of that Teller layer doc. I made some changes to it. So if I think Tim, Brenda, you guys specifically, if you guys could go over that, make sure the things I added look good. And then Tim, like also on the bridge part, I know we're changing it to, it like hints at like we're using light client bridges and stuff like that, but it's like still, the section's weak. Need to beef it out. But yeah, for people watching this, then once we go over it, probably later this week, we'll make an updated version to that one in the GitHub. Follow along. Probably won't be too many changes on there, but we're just kind of tweaking the design a little bit, just in terms of just how it works. And yeah, nothing big, I guess, to announce about how it works, but we want to make sure that you guys are staying up to date on it.
On the GitHub as well, we're gonna be adding a little bit more of background of how we come up with the architecture. So I did add the things that we discussed last week. I haven't actually gone through and basically documented our logic behind how we got there, but I did push a branch with that. So we'll yeah, I'll see what you wrote and then we'll work through that this week and next.
Maybe you can give it a try first, and then
yeah,
if you don't get it, we can correct you, and then we can understand where we're off. Or we should have the community do it. You guys have to listen.
That's basically our last conversation when
Right.
we changed some things in the architecture and we discussed it. Like that's basically all that we're gonna document, just because I think it's a really neat thing that Celestia does with their docs, so that you can go back and see why they ended up with the design that they have. And we do this a lot, we just don't write it out. So instead of just me and you talking on a call, or me, you, and Tim talking on a call, it's nice to like have this, oh, this is why we did this.
Yeah. Okay.
And I also have, there's a document in the layer repo under the bridge. It's kind of a draft, but it goes over some of those justifications for what we're doing so far. It's a little hidden though in my branch.
Cool.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
Other stuff. I saw we had a Diva Pools notification. Did you look into that?
I did not.
Go look into it. Anyway, we're an Oracle for prediction pattern on Polygon.
Usually those don't settle quickly. We just need to know if Tellor is settling it and
Yeah. When?
whether it's what it is, if we can report it.
Okay, go look at that.
Yep.
Also, a creme and somebody else. There's some layer PRs. Those are good to go, or we can do that.
Yes, those PRs are good to go.
Cool. I'll push them. And then OGV ETH. That one's all good.
It's pretty good.
DVMs, auto tippers, or well, I guess nobody's using it yet, right?
Nobody's using it yet.
Okay,
But
they just
it
asked
is-
for support.
It is automatically supported in the DVM. It's a little bit of a riskier one. That's my turn to talk.
Okay, cool. But doing good on that one. And then ETH BTC, are we up there on Arbitrum?
Oh, all I have to do is start that up now.
Okay,
I just have to.
cool. Yeah, we got a new user's looking to use this over on Arbitrum. They need an ETH feed and a BTC feed, so it'll probably be in the next month. Hopefully we can talk about it a little bit more. Maybe we'll get them on. So that'll be cool. Yeah, getting that up and running for them. And then cool. I think that's better for me. Akram?
I'm working on doing the testing. I guess they call it testing infrastructure, kind of inspired by the Celestia tests, building Docker files and using Kubernetes to be able to orchestrate nodes and simulate a real chain running. So trying to use most of the stuff from Celestia, since they kind of made it chain agnostic, so you can, I think anybody can use it. So I'm trying to build that out. I already did a lot of it, so I just need to, I guess, push it.
Nice. Nice. Dan, how's things?
Pretty good. I'm actually back on that data spec already registered error. I think that just randomly passed one time because of the randomness of the simulation parameters. So I think I need to randomize the data spec inputs, because I think it's just sending that same message over and over.
Okay.
Register the same thing. Can talk about it at one.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. And that was, if you saw, I added a whole bunch of issues to layer this weekend as I was going over some stuff.
Cool.
Because I think we're gonna need a way to update the registry information too, either via governance or an owner. 'Cause that's like, I was just thinking about that, like how would we, like let's say you wanted to change an aggregation method for your input source for a query ID. How could you do that? Right now we don't have a way. Well, I mean, you could like hard fork, but like that's not ideal. So yeah, so we'll have to add an update method in owners and stuff, but I think make it more similar to the other registry. So we'll talk about that later. Tim?
Yeah, I'm doing some research on BLS and aggregating signatures as a possible path for us on that bridge. And then also working on still adding the bridge functionality on the layer side. So right now I'm filling in the function for querying the validator set and actually calculating it in the first place for the bridge.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm working on that. Yeah.
Cool. Ryan?
I was able to spin up a layer locally and get it running on the Block Explorer. Now it's just a matter of kind of tinkering with it and sending transactions and making sure it's coming through legibly. And then, yes, wrapping up the Interchain Academy, and then working on some tweet drafts for this week.
Nice. Buddy?
I got a lot, but I'm gonna add another thing. So we've been getting some interest in the BRC20 spot prices. So I figured out a way to just add BRC20 spot prices using the custom price query type instead of the spot price query type. It's way easier than I thought it would be. But now there's not a lot of sources for those built in yet.
Yep.
So it was kind of bringing up an old issue with Tellor where like if the feeds that don't have a lot of sources are tipped, it's like riskier for the reporters. So then I was wondering if there was a way in Tellor I could like exclude the risky ones if people don't want to report those. Not that they're really getting tipped all that often anyway, but it's a thinking about.
Yeah, you would just like might want to not support it unless you have more.
It would be
sources.
like a flag to include risky feeds or not. You know what I mean?
I feel like we should just focus on getting more.
Yeah, I gotta get sources. We need sources for the data.
What do we have, like just CoinGecko or something?
Right now, for BRC20 is just CoinGecko. We got to figure out how to use Ordinal's API. I looked into using Ordinal's API, and it seems possible.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not a super high priority. But
No, not a super. Yeah.
yeah, when you get some time.
I'm spending some time straightening out everything we're running on the test nets, like updating everything on the test nets, because I haven't done that in a while.
Nice. Cool.
Yep.
Mike, anything?
I'm good, thanks, guys.
Brenda, anything else? Or...
Nope. I'll see you guys at 1.
Oh, wait, we got questions. Any questions?
Got a couple questions.
Cool.
Looks like I missed this one last week during the fiasco. But Cloudy asked how the team's going to spend the money received from selling TRB during the peak. He asked if we're going to hire more devs/biz devs, etc.
Yeah, no, great question. I mean, obviously, this is like the roadmap for plan on how we would spend any money we get, and I think it's always been how can we best support kind of people using Tellor and then the development of new Tellor, which is Layer. And yeah, so the big thing, so we're sponsoring a few events this year, which is super exciting. We have ETH Denver coming up. We have a booth there. We'll probably be looking to sponsor ETHCC again and maybe some other hackathons. It's always been an excellent way to get the word out to actual devs. And yeah, we'll probably be looking to hire a dev, maybe a biz dev, probably a dev or two. We like to go slow. You know, we're not, as you can tell, we're a very small team and we don't scale up really big because that's how you kind of survive a bear market. You know, a lot of teams can't really afford it, so we'd rather have runway in to make sure that we can survive these things. But yeah,
We have a good team with us rather than just expand without thinking. So
yeah, you know, we love the team and we like to hire really good people that sort of vibe with the Tellor ethos and the Tellor community. So, but yeah, if probably over the next month or two, we'll be starting to look to, you know, hire some people, and hopefully, if you're part of the community here listening to these calls, you're probably on the short list already if you're interested. So, definitely stay tuned for that. And but it's always, like I said, it's always super hard to tell where we need to hire, and a lot of times these hires kind of fall into our lap when you need them because, you know, if anybody would have told us 2 years ago that we'd be hiring Golang devs to build a Cosmos chain, like it would have been, we would have had no idea. So you want to make sure you're flexible, and we want to make sure that the team's really flexible, which is why why we just find really, really smart people and move with them. So just all you guys.
And then one was in the reporters channel, are there any spot feeds that are updated consistently, like default updated? I see what price feeds are supported and know that a user can request a set number of updates, like ETHUSD seems to be updated close to every hour. This is from Colin.
Sure. So I mean, we update some of them on a regular basis, especially on other networks, so we'll update them daily or hourly. But like part of the beauty of a decentralized network is that we don't want you to rely on the team to do it. You know, if a user needs something, they tip it and then they get an update.
And there are some really important feeds that the reporting community is submitting them, but we also want to make sure those are submitted. So we have monitoring and
Yep.
bots to make sure that the users have the data that they need, while the regular reporting community is reporting those feeds anyway.
Yeah. So for instance, like the ETHUSD feed, you know, like Liquidity, for example, they make sure that the way that Liquidity uses us is we're a fallback. So if Chainlink goes down, we need to make sure that the ETHUSD feed is humming. And so what we do is we have a bunch of monitors set up that if Chainlink ever goes down, we make sure that it's getting supported. So you might not even like see those because it's kind of monitors on the backside. And the same with like Ampleforth. Ampleforth is reported daily by Tellor. And yeah, it's been daily. You can go, they have some nice graphs on it. And yeah, other networks too. So a lot of times it's just monitoring. Other times it's much more active. Make sure it's updated daily. Make sure it's updated hourly. But yeah, don't rely on the team to do that. If you're listening, make sure you go tip. Make sure you have your own monitors.
And the tips don't have to be really, really big. If you have a feed that you need, they can just, like for now, in the absence of a ton of tipping, you just tip a little bit for the feed that you need, and it'll get reported.
Yeah. Cool. Any others?
That's it.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Talk to you guys next week.